Here are 20 facts in history that you might find weird. These facts highlight the vast and varied tapestry of human history, filled with oddities and unexpected turns. 1. It's said that Henry Ford, a close friend of Thomas Edison, captured Edison's last breath in a test tube. The test tube is reportedly still displayed at the Henry Ford Museum. 2. The first parachute jump, in 1783. Louis Sebastian Lenormand coined the term parachute and made the first recorded public parachute jump from a tower in Paris. His parachute was not intended to save people jumping from aircraft, which hadn't been invented yet, but as a means of escaping burning buildings. 3. Bananas caused a war. The Banana Wars were a series of military interventions in Central America and the Caribbean between the late 19th century and the early 20th century by the United States, partly to protect the commercial interests of the United Fruit Company, which had significant financial stakes in the production of bananas. 4. The London Beer Flood, in 1814. A large vat at the Moon and Company brewery in London burst, causing other vats to rupture in a domino effect. As a result, more than 1 million liters of beer flooded the streets, destroying 2 homes and killing 8 people. 5. Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel, in 1952. Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel after the death of Israel's first president, Chaim Weizmann. He declined the offer, stating he lacked the necessary experience in dealing with people and affairs. 6. Operation Paul Bunyan. Following the Korean axe murder incident in 1976, the United States launched Operation Paul Bunyan to cut down a poplar tree in the Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, under heavy military protection. As a show of strength, this operation involved a significant show of force, including aircraft carriers and fighter jets, to chop down one tree. 7. Mozart's scatological humor. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart had a well-documented fondness for scatological humor, which was evident in his letters to friends and family. This aspect of his personality is often at odds with the solemn image many have of the classical composer. 8. The Cod Wars. Between the 1950s and 1970s, the United Kingdom and Iceland engaged in the Cod Wars, a series of confrontations over fishing rights in the North Atlantic. Despite the aggressive name, the conflict involved ramming ships and cutting fishing nets rather than conventional warfare. 9. The first proposal of the Internet, in the 1930s, decades before the actual creation of the Internet. Belgian information scientist Paul Otlet envisioned a global network of computers, or electric telescopes in his terms, that would allow people to search and browse through millions of interlinked documents, images, audio, and video files. 10. The tulip bubble. In the 17th century, the Netherlands experienced one of the first recorded speculative bubbles, known as tulip mania. At the peak of the bubble in 1637, some single tulip bulb sold for more than 10 times the annual income of a skilled craftsworker, before the markets suddenly collapsed. 11. The ancient Romans had a form of dentures. They would use wires to fasten human or animal teeth together for those in need of false teeth. 12. In 1932, Australia faced an unexpected foe, emus. The military waged a war against these birds to protect crops in Western Australia, using machine guns. Surprisingly, the emus proved quite resilient, and the military eventually withdrew. 13. In Strasbourg, Alsace, which was part of the Holy Roman Empire, a woman began dancing in the street, and within a month, hundreds of people joined her. They danced for days without rest, and some reportedly died from heart attack, stroke, or exhaustion. 14. During World War II, the British government spread the myth that eating carrots helped their pilots see better at night, to cover up the fact that their improved night operations were due to radar advancements, not vegetable consumption. 15. In the 13th century, Pope Gregory IX declared that black cats were an incarnation of Satan, which led to a mass killing of cats. This decision indirectly contributed to the spread of the Black Death, as it increased the population of plague-carrying rats. 16. Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, lived closer in time to the moon landing in 1969 than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramid was completed around 2560 BCE, while Cleopatra lived around 69 to 30 BCE. 17. In 1947, a team working on the Harvard Mark II computer found a moth causing a malfunction. They taped the moth in their logbook and noted it as the first actual case of bug being found, giving origin to the term computer bug. 18. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 is the shortest war on record, lasting between 38 and 45 minutes. It occurred between the United Kingdom and the Sultanate of Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. 19. Beer was a common payment method for laborers in ancient Egypt. It was consumed daily by adults and children alike and was considered an essential source of nutrition. 20. Originally, the Eiffel Tower was intended to be dismantled 20 years after the 1889 World's Fair for which it was built. However, its usefulness as a radio telegraph station saved it from being taken down. These are all for now. Like and subscribe for more.